Good evening and welcome back to Goosebumps HorrorTown. This is the Crafting 101 behind Bride of the Living Dummy. This year's Valentine's Day update. Well, belated, but hey, it's here, so better than nothing, I guess. But I digress. Today, this video is going to be talking to you about how you can get the grand prize, which is, I believe, called Tunnel of Painful Love. I might be mistaken of that, but I believe that's what it was implying in the patches, so that's what I'm going to go with here. So there's that. But you need to have the following items in order to be able to get this thing. These items that will be needed include the love cards, the chocolate boxes, the wedding cakes, and the heart blobs. So, in this video, I'm going to be telling you how you can get through all this, as well as talking about how to proceed within this update, and some tricks that might be beneficial to you. But hopefully it is. But hey, that's just neither here nor there. Let's just jump into the gameplay and see how it's done.
Here comes the bride, blah 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 blah, whatever the music is for ratings. Hi, welcome to the Crafting 101. We're going to be talking about this update in particular and go forth. So if you're curious, this is how you can get the Tunnel of Painful Love, I believe it's what it's called. And you might be noticing I got some stuff already. I'll talk about that in a moment. But for now, why don't we just go ahead and talk about some things to note. So, basically just some minor things here and there. So, right. Now then, there's a few things to take a note of, and that's namely the fact of we got, how do I start with this? All right, so we need love cards, chocolate boxes, wedding cakes, and the love blobs. Now then, why don't we go ahead and, I guess I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this, because, every time I do this, it's always something new and unique to kind of talk about and how to get this going. So, allow me to kind of go ahead with this. So, to get the love cards, you need to do 2 of the blobs. The blobs are basically going to be your main currency, so a lot of people are going to be able to get this for you. And, basically, you would need the cockroaches just to get that kind of going. In order to get the chocolate boxes, you need to get all these 3 candies and mix it in one. And to get the wedding cake, you need to get all this wedding stuff to get to that. Alright, 1 of each. Or you can craft it for a little bit higher. But, fortunately, you just need 1 of each, so it's not too bad. Now, there's ways around this, which I'm going to talk about. And it's basically these characters. So characters will drop you these items in question here. The love blobs themselves are probably going to be the easiest currency to get because they are going to be craftable. And one of the ways is getting to the Max Cherub statue, which is pretty big, I must say. If we go over here, where one of our characters is, which I'm going to, as you can see, she's kind of doing something right now. But, yeah, we got that done. It gives us 1 here. So it's like every 4 hours, so that's not too bad. So you get that there. And there are some characters that are pretty much unique to this update that will do stuff for you. So why don't we talk about that? So that's the only, by the way, that's the only craftable that you got going on here. You can buy multiple of them. So if you wish to get them, you can. But they're just limited to what you can buy, I guess. And I'm assuming you can get multiple of these too, but I digress. Any rates, so let's take a look at some of these normal characters you got here. So first off is Mr. Mortman. If you have Mr. Mortman, he will give you Black Rose as well as some currency, which is 22 every 8 hours. Then we have Mrs. Marr, which actually gives us some more currency. She gives us heart candies and gives you for 22 as well. And if we go over here to Dustin, he also gives you He gives you 5, and he gives you the love blobs. So he's the one other character gives you love blobs. And I believe Lucy also gives us something too. She gives us love blobs as well. So the kids will give you the love blobs, and their currency is a little bit less than, stellar as far as what is going to be required for. I believe there's another other side character that does stuff, but I'm trying to see if it's just the 4 or if there's someone else. I think there is, but I think it's one of those hide in buildings kind of deals. So I'm not 100% sure, unless I did all of them at once, which is also possible. But for the life of me, I can't, again, these things are kind of quick to kind of perspective and just kind of go on about. But one of the things is that they're going to be doing this time around is it seems like currency is going to be one of the issues. Now, it seems like most of these items are going to be pretty easy to get. And one of the things I would suggest is kind of go ahead and sell some of the stuff here, because some of the characters will give you lots of these items and will drop them kind of fine, but they're not too bad as far as the stuff goes. So, just take that with a grain of salt of sorts. Now then, there is other things as well when it comes to this here, which I believe, yeah, so it seems like it's just the 4 there that does something. And then, of course, Slappy also gives you something here, too. If you go over here, and he gives you one of the more important things, if you actually invest in getting yourself Slappy, gives you, broken wedding bells, which is good. But he also does an animation exclusive, which is called Eat Petey, which gives you a chocolate box, which is one of the required items needed for this update. So again, not too bad as far as that goes. So you can skip the chocolate stuff altogether. But that's not the only way to get around stuff, because as you can tell, there is another new character here. And you might be thinking, how broken is she? Well, let's go ahead and see her for a second, and let's spin off. So as you can see, this animation actually gives us the love chocolate. So she got that ready going. Now she does give us the poison chocolate, love cards, wedding cake, and the monster blob. And if you notice, by doing all this, wait a minute, Grim, that's all the items that's required for this whole thing. You're correct. So Jillian herself, you don't even have to bother with crafting anything. She basically, you can just send her off to do all these other bad clown performance, Mary Ellen shaking, green mucus vomit, and clown training to basically get all the items you need for this update. So really, this whole thing is going to be easy as far as getting this last prize's concern here goes. There's another thing too, by the way. You might be looking at this and thinking, how the heck did I get all these stuff real quick? Well, that's the other thing. As you notice, with these big buff teddy bears, and these weird chocolate monsters, that I bought the packs. The packs decided to give you a little bit more interesting currency, which is basically a lot of the stuff for not only the wooden hearts for this update's currency, but it also gives you lots of the cakes and the chocolate boxes, and then also the love blobs, which means that it basically gives you a free ride to get to this thing here. The only thing that's going to be hard is getting the love cards, which would be something you can either craft or have Jillian do for you. So not too bad as far as that kind of stuff is concerned. I know these things seem to get more shorter and shorter, but it seems like moving forward, this is going to be the way around it. It's going to be easy things to kind of, it's not like back in the day when it's a little harder to kind of get these updates and kind of stuff going. It seems like they're going to be a lot more easy to get stuff, these grand prizes going. The thing that's going to be hard, though, is going to be getting these items, because they are a little bit higher in price, and just to get them via normal means, they don't drop a whole lot of currency. They don't drop a whole lot of currency for you. But I believe I know why. I think they want you to utilize this here, which is the selling stuff, which is pretty much important. And then, of course, I might as well note this too, but if you want, you can also use the scene to get some cake as well, which, you don't really need to, but it's there as well. And basically summon her. The only downside is the twins require $5 to send. Now, something I can actually go ahead and... Here's a safe way to try to see if your confirmation is on or not. Go to a scene like, say, your, like, the creepy graveyard or whatnot. And if you notice, when you go over here and hover it, it'll ask you, do you want to buy this, right? So, and the good thing about this is you can get a refund back. So if you end up clicking this and this pop-up doesn't hit, then that means you have, confirmation on. So you just have to go into the app here and turn it on here. Now, they've been good. It hasn't been turned off at all. And no wonkiness has happened. It seems like it's off by default for some reason. So if you're new to this game, that's one of the ways to look at it, is to make sure you don't accidentally buy things you don't want to do. Because I know that's just one of those mobile tactics, which is kind of sucky, but again, I get it. They have to make money somehow, right? But anyways, that's neither here or there. Now, for the most part, these things are going to be shorter because, again, there's not a whole lot to talk about as far as, things go. Again, they have the crafting here, which is all good, but again, you can skip that with with Jillian. But again, all these items you can still get. If you're ever unsure what characters can do what, you can click on this to get some stuff here. Also, yeah, there's another thing too, by the way. There's these love guillotines that will also drop you the love blobs, but currently they're kind of glitch. So hopefully later on this update, or by the time this video comes out, this problem will be fixed. So I have no idea how much they'll drop, but you'll get them fine for here. So, in other words, pretty easy to get this stuff. As far as what it drops, as far as currency goes, I'm not too sure, but it's going to be part of the review to see whether or not I like it or not. So, again, we'll take a look into that and see how that goes, and give you my opinions from there. Right, I think this ends the crafting 101, because there's not a whole lot to talk about. Again, it seems like these are not going to be as complicated as they once were, so I guess in one ways it's kind of decent and okay, but others it's kind of like, eh. But, I digress. So anyways, one of the more important things is, when will this update end? Well, I did the calculations to it, and I believe I got this correct. So I believe this update is going to end Monday, April 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, it's April. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure, because I know I wanted to make sure I'm saying the right things right, but you've probably seen the screen pop up already here. But yeah, it's going to end this year. So it's, 2023. But I digress. But, right. I think that's about it. Not much more. Hopefully you have you're good luck with this. Should be pretty easy as long as you kind of come in and take your time with it. So, it shouldn't be bad. Shouldn't be too bad. If you want to focus your attention on getting the stuff before completing the quest, I would consider, you can do that. But, anyways, I neither here or there. Anyways, I've been Grim, and I'll be seeing you next time for more videos of this nature. Until then, toodaloo.